Wolfden Wrestling Podcast, episode number 13. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of interesting stuff coming up on this upcoming week on wrestling and the last week as well. But we're going to start out with our rumor roundup. Number one, the Bollywood Boys could be staying on SmackDown Live with Jinder Mahal. The Bollywood Boys helped Jinder Mahal become the number one contender for the WWE title at Backlash against Randy Orton or whatever. But it could be seeming like the Bollywood Boys could be moving up to the main roster and staying on SmackDown Live with Jinder Mahal. Now, this is obviously still a rumor. This is not actually confirmed yet. But me personally, I don't understand what the Bollywood Boys really are. I heard of them and I've seen them wrestle on NXT a few times. But, it's great, I guess, in a way. Number two, Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns payback match, supposed to be an ambulance match. Everyone kind of expected this in a way because of the whole ambulance situation between the two. So it's kind of expected. Number three, Mike Bennett and Maria signed with WWE under the SmackDown brand. I hear that they are still working under their contract, but I did hear that this was confirmed that they are working on that. But it's going to be great to see Mike Bennett and Maria on SmackDown Live. Number four, Kalisto is supposed to be taking on Braun Strowman tonight on Monday Night Raw in a dumpster match. I don't understand what the whole dumpster match is. Maybe you have to throw your opponent in a dumpster. But I don't understand how it's really fair because I don't see how Kalisto's putting Braun Strowman in a dumpster without help. But it's going to be interesting nevertheless. Number five, Josh Matthews sticking with TNA Wrestling. There's some rumors going around that Josh Matthews is planning on leaving Impact Wrestling to go elsewhere, but it seems as if he's staying with Impact Wrestling, maybe still as a commentator or possibly another type of job, being that there's new opportunities in Impact Wrestling. It wouldn't surprise me if he decides just to stick around for the ride. Number six, Stone Cold Podcast to return to the WWE Network shortly with guest The Undertaker. Now, personally, I would love to see this. The last Stone Cold podcast we've actually seen, though, was with Dean Ambrose, and we all know there was some type of backlash after that. But I personally think that it would be great to see the Stone Cold podcast back, but maybe in a different way. Bringing some new people in that would be great to see on there. Number seven, Becky Lynch versus James Ellsworth match in the works. This intergender match is actually being rumored to be happening very shortly because of the whole thing with James Ellsworth. I don't know, but me personally, I would love to see Becky Lynch destroy James Ellsworth. Number eight, Jinder Mahal to be getting a huge push in the WWE. If you don't really pretty much already know this, because Jinder Mahal won the number one contendership with the help of the Bollywood Boys, it could be possible that we could be seeing Jinder Mahal walking away with the WWE title very shortly. Of course, I think he would probably have to have help. That's just my opinion. I don't see how he's beating Randy Orton. I don't know. Who knows? Number nine, Baron Corbin getting repackaged. Now, when some of you guys might not really understand what repackaging means, which pretty much means that they take you off screen for some time and they make you come back as someone else. Some examples of this would be like The Godfather turning into Papa Shango, or whatever way it went around, but that's repackaging. And I honestly think that in a way this is good, but in a way it's bad, because Baron Corbin is just starting to, in a way, get his mojo going in the roster, in my opinion. I think it would be bad to try to switch up his character now, but who knows. Number 10, Crazy Steve from Decay on Impact Wrestling, leaving TNA to head to WWE. Now, this is confirmed that he has left Impact Wrestling, but it is not confirmed that he is heading to WWE. But if this is the case that he is heading to the WWE, it's going to be great to see what he can do in NXT or wherever else he may show up. Number 11, Vince McMahon thinks John Cena is the Babe Ruth of WWE. I mean, I can understand why he says that. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, that's a huge comparison between the two. And I personally think that in a way he is, but in a way he ain't. Number 12, Kurt Angle wants to fight AJ Styles one more time at WrestleMania. I would love to see Kurt Angle fight AJ Styles again. I loved their matches in Impact Wrestling, and I would love to see it again. I mean, anytime that Kurt Angle is going to step in the ring, it's great by me. And the last piece of rumor roundup we have is Scott Steiner returning to Impact Wrestling. Now, I'm actually being told that this is actually confirmed now, that this is actually happening. But it's going to be great to see him back in the ring. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a wrestler or if he's going to be in some type of authority figure type way, but it's going to be great to see Big Papa Pump back. Now, into our actual news. Now, number 1, Dash Wilder suffered a jaw injury at an NXT Live event, which means we could be seeing less of the revival for the next few weeks due to this injury. But it's going to be great to see whenever they come back. Number 2, we have some more upsetting, sad news. Matt Rosie, who used to play superhero in training, passed away. He's Roman Reigns' brother. He was a fantastic wrestler in my book, and his legacy will go on through the likes of that of 3 Minute Warning and others. Cedric Alexander is out on injury. Now, I don't know what his injury was, but on 205 last week, they announced that he is out on injury, and that's why you haven't really seen him in some time. Now, it's going to be great to see when Cedric decides to come back, when he can come back when he's 100%. It's going to be great to see how the storyline with him, Alicia Fox, Rich Swann, Noam Dar, and all them continue if they consider on continuing that rivalry. Number 4, Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt at Payback is now a non-title match. Now, I don't understand how this happened, but it was originally set as a title match, I believe, and now it's not. I don't understand why, but the only explanation I could think of is maybe because Bray Wyatt's heading to Monday Night Raw, and maybe they want Bray Wyatt to win the House of Hardcore match because it's Bray's creation. That's the only thing I could think of, but that's just my opinion, and I think that it's going to be a great match no matter what. Number 5, TNA Summer Tour coming soon. I think they actually announced this on Impact last week, that they will be doing a tour, which is kind of expected because a lot of wrestling companies do summer tours and stuff like that, so it's kind of expected. Number 6, Allie, Braxton Sutter, and Christina Von Eerie signed new TNA contracts, which means you'll be seeing Allie and Braxton Sutter for Impact Wrestling for quite some time, and you'll be introduced to Christina Von Eerie, which I believe is with Reno Scum on Impact Wrestling. Number 7, UK stars getting their own show. This is for like the UK title, which is Tyler Bates. UK title will be getting their own show, something similar to 205, which I can confirm for you now that there will be added to the Spotlight Wrestlers once that show starts up. Number 8, TNA getting back Spike TV for UK fans. TNA is back live on Spike TV for UK fans exclusively, but for us American fans, they are still here on Pop TV. But I'm assuming that they might be trying to eventually move back to Spike TV full time. But that's just my opinion. That's not confirmed or anything like that. but I just think that that's what they're trying to do. Number 9, TNA and Global Force Wrestling combining. Now, I didn't actually hear this clearly, but it seems as if that's the case because of, you see a lot of the Global Force titles and you see a lot of the Global Force wrestlers coming to Impact Wrestling. So it could be as if that they're combining together Impact and Global Force. If that's the case, they're going to have one heck of a roster. Number 10, Tajiri no longer with the WWE. Tajiri was out on some injury with the WWE. However, it's being said that now he's not even coming back to the WWE. His run, he had like maybe 2 or 3 matches with 205. I mean, it was great to see him, but it was like a flash in the pan in a way. And the last piece of news we have is Matt Sydal, aka Evan Bourne, signed with TNA Wrestling. Me personally, I'm a huge fan of Matt Sydal, or TNA's Evan Bourne, or WWE's Evan Bourne, whatever you want to call him. I'm a huge fan of his, so I can't wait to see him on Impact Wrestling. And he's definitely going to be one of my top picks for roster people on Impact Wrestling. With that said, let's get into our Spotlight Wrestlers for this last week. For Monday Night Raw, the Spotlight Wrestler goes to Braun Strowman, who broke the ring with the Big Show. For SmackDown, it goes to Jinder Mahal, who had a little bit of help, but he proved his worth in the number one contender WWE title match, and he became the number one contender for the WWE title. 205 Live goes to Rich Swann, who tricked over Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. NXT goes to Ty Dillinger, who once and for all put an end to his rivalry with Eric Young on NXT. And last but not least, the TNA Spotlight goes to Low Ki, who returned to Impact Wrestling, along with the likes of Sanjay Dutt returning and some other new guy. I didn't catch his name in the X Division title match, but it was great to see him come back and win the title. But it's going to be interesting to see how things develop as the weeks go on. And as always, I'll see you guys all next week for the Wolfden Wrestling Podcast, episode 14. Have a great day, and peace.